Oh, yeah, we do. We've got a lot to be grateful for. You guys could have maybe seen me on screen, but Shirley Anne was behind the scenes singing and swaying, and it was absolutely so much fun. Welcome to our number 244 Sunday gathering, where we celebrate life and the afterlife. We're here to empower you, put a smile on your face, give you some tools for the week ahead so that you're positive and glowing and all good things. And of course, join the two worlds with our medium demonstration. Not that we need to join the two worlds because they're always with us, and someday we'll realize just how tough it may be to get through to our loved ones here on earth. But we are very, very real and very much alive when we migrate to the other side. Today, I am joined by the beautiful Shirley Anne Sharp from who lives in New Zealand. She woke up bright and early. We were meant to have Carrie and Phil on our gathering today. They've had a family emergency and they cannot be here. One of their family members needs some prayers. So if we could send healing and love to the whole family, I know that they would absolutely appreciate it. So Shirley Anne, who is one of our favorite people, stepped up to the plate, and here she is. And so between the two of us, we are going to deliver our Sunday gathering. Shirley Anne will be doing our prayers today, also our medium demonstration, and joining me on the address. She'll go first. I will be filling in with the reading and the healing and all the bits and bobs behind the scenes. So wherever you are in the world, we welcome you. We're usually here for about 90 minutes together, plus or minus. And it's just a joyful, joyful occasion. Our theme today is giving thanks. Now, here in America on Thursday, we're going into one of our biggest holidays. It's right up there with Christmas and Easter. That's Thanksgiving for the Americans. But of course, we have a global community here as well. So we're just calling it giving thanks. So there'll be a few Thanksgiving things sprinkled in that I know Americans will notice. But with that, think about all those things that we are grateful for. And if during our Sunday gathering you want to post some of those in our chat box, please feel free to do so. We love to share. There's always something to be grateful for, like that happy song just sang. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Shirley Anne for our opening prayer.
So if we could just all join together in the silence and the harmony of our own thoughts and sending our thoughts out to our wonderful spirit world, welcoming our loved ones, our pets, our friends from the spirit world to come and join us today. Maybe you're inviting your loved ones in to sit and hold your hand and to be thankful. Allow us to be thankful that we know and we can do this. As our loved ones move close to us, let us open our hearts so we can appreciate the closeness and the wonder of joining the two worlds together. Allow us to give thanks for the memories that our loved ones have given us while they were in this phase of their life, but also moving forward to perhaps the memories and the communication that they will give us in the next stage of their lives. Please stay together as a community to welcome our beautiful spirit world with all our loved ones on this very, very special occasion in America, and of course, a very special occasion around the world for community, bringing our community together for support and love and gratitude, giving thanks for who we are, what we are, and where we are, and what we've received in our own lives, helping us through our journeys. So with those thoughts, please sit with your loved ones and know that your room is full of those wonderful people that you have wonderful memories of that have passed on to the other stage, to the next stage of their life. I'll leave you with those thoughts. Amen.
Thank you so much, Shirley Anne. All right, the reading I picked for you today is 7 surprising scientific facts about gratitude. Are you ready? If conversation is lagging around the Thanksgiving dinner table and your relatives are threatening to tell embarrassing stories about you, why not break out some of these scientific facts about gratitude? Gratitude is one of the most well-researched concepts in positive psychology, with countless studies looking at its benefits and how we can each maximize them. Keeping a gratitude journal or counting our blessings is one of the most recommended happiness practices ever. So, what does the science industry have to say about gratitude? Beyond the fact that it's the best thing since apple pie and we should all be doing a lot more of it? Here are some surprising facts about gratitude. Number one, did you know women are more grateful than men? Now, don't be offended, men. This is just what this study said. A national survey of gratitude, which polled over 2,000 people, found that women tend to be more grateful than men. This confirms the findings from another study, which found that American men, in particular, are uncomfortable expressing gratitude. The Youth Gratitude Project also found that girls are more grateful than boys, suggesting that the difference starts early. Examples of growing as a person can include taking on new challenges, learning from our experiences, and making positive changes in our lives. 2, people are less likely to express gratitude at work than anywhere else. That same national survey found that work is the last place you're likely to hear gratitude. Only 10% of people say thank you to their colleagues on any given day, and 60% of people never, ever express gratitude at work. 3, gratitude is great for your cholesterol levels. University of California professor Wendy Berry Mendez is investigating the health effects on gratitude, and her preliminary findings show that grateful people have higher good cholesterol and lower bad cholesterol, as well as lower blood pressure. That's definitely a reason to be grateful, isn't it? One of the reasons for this might be gratitude's effect on our stress levels. Number 4, grateful people spend more time exercising. More grateful people who see their health as a blessing or a gift may take better care of themselves. In one study by Professors Robert Emmons and Mike McCullough, people were asked to list 5 things they were grateful for once a week for 10 weeks. Among a host of other benefits, they spent more time exercising than any other of the control groups. Number 5, gratitude can improve your sleep. In another study, people were asked to keep a gratitude journal every day for 2 weeks. For people with neuromuscular disorders, this exercise improved sleep, among other benefits. They were able to fall asleep faster, sleep longer, and feel more refreshed in the morning. This led Emmons to conclude, if you want to sleep more soundly, count your blessings, not sheep. Number 6, gratitude could help you achieve your goals. In a 6-week study, people doing a gratitude exercise worked harder at their goals and made 20% more progress toward them. Excuse me. This might be because gratitude makes us more energetic. Number 7, you can overdo gratitude. Despite all the benefits of gratitude, you may practice it too much. A study by the University of California, Riverside, they asked people to journal 5 things they were grateful for weekly or 3 times a week for 6 weeks. And only the weekly journalers became more grateful. That doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't count your blessings every day, just that the average person shouldn't. Well, I think we all know we're not average, and too much of a good thing might not be a good thing. Gratitude can become a routine chore. So it's important to find your ideal frequency and mix things up from time to time. Before we go into our healing, I want to share with you something somebody posted on Facebook. It said, please remember, your job is the dream of the unemployed. Your house is the dream of the homeless. Your smile is the dream of the depressed. Your health is the dream of those who are sick. Beautiful things happen when you distance yourself from negativity. So find something to be grateful for today. We're going to go into our healing now, and the song I've picked is Thankful by one of my favorites, Josh Groban. So this is a time that we can put that intention out there for all those, including yourself if necessary, that need some healing. Those in the unseen world can use our human energy and direct it to where it's needed in the world. So we can picture situations, people, anyone who needs healing, healthy, whole, perfect, and well. And I thought because this is our gratitude, giving thanks Sunday, if we sit in gratitude now and think about some of the things we're grateful for, I personally think that gratitude is that special sauce that can help miracles occur, really. Being grateful for things just start happening in our life, synchronicities. It's an interesting world, spending time on gratitude. So if you're willing, you can join me and just sit as a beautiful song plays and think about what you're thankful for. And after the healing, you'll hear from Shirley Anne first for our address, followed by me. So here is our healing song.
Gosh, that was just such a moving song. I'm sure you will all agree with me. It surely brings up those emotions of being thankful. And the theme today is giving thanks. But giving thanks is equivalent, in my mind, equals being thankful, which is equivalent to gratitude, which is equivalent to appreciation. And just a thought that perhaps everyone on the gathering being from such different countries, from such different cultures, and facing different issues, they may be able to take one of those words or one of those expressions and be able to make it theirs, to be able to transform that mindset that we possibly need to develop. You know, gratitude is internal and external, and it's conscious and unconscious. And I would just like to talk about the unconscious for a moment. Just when you're sitting in the room with your family and you find yourself just smiling at your little granddaughter, what they're doing, what they're saying, maybe their first steps, or you're holding the hand of your partner, looking over at a sunset, and you find yourself smiling. Or perhaps you look down at your little dog who's looking at you with the most adoring eyes. It reminds you that that experience is yours and yours only. And even though it's in the unconscious, it's still giving thanks, recognizing that giving thanks of how much you enjoyed, how much joy you got from that experience, that we've been privileged enough to be given. It's the recognition of the good stuff. And let's face it, we all need good stuff. But what I like about the consciousness is we recognize the good stuff by changing our mindset, looking for the positive, instead of diverting, sometimes as we do, to the negative. Because the negative's easy, isn't it? We're hard on ourselves. We will bash ourselves up. We will say that wasn't good enough. We could have done better there. And that may be the case. But start with the positive. The positive holds the lessons rather than too much of the negative. You know, we do have a lot to be thankful around us. And the more we practice looking at the positive sides of our lives, the bigger that will grow both internally and externally. And it helps us link with something that's much bigger than ourselves, which is our whole life, which is our family members, which is the world around us. By linking in or being able to link in faster with the world around us, we become more connected with, let's call it, living nature. which of course supports our whole livelihood. But when we practice more and more positive thought, gratitude, and appreciation, it gets easier to look for those positive aspects in our life. And when we find it in our own life, we can help others find it in theirs. Just posing a question to you, or a few questions actually. When was the last time you thought to yourself, I really appreciate that person. I really appreciate what's happening over there. It can be the smallest things that have the biggest impact in your life. It could be a hug from mum. It could be just that arm around you from a good friend or dad, or that support on the other end of the phone when you really, really, in your own mind, you were in a crisis point. And suddenly this person on the other end of the phone made it seem very simple and very logical. Because we were so clouded, we couldn't navigate our way through. But that support we were given by someone else helped us. And that little bit of help next time will help us look for a little bit more positiveness around us or in those situations. Sandra was talking about a few tools that we could use. But I'd like to also suggest reflection. When we go through our lives and we go through our experiences, some great, some not so great, but the reflections upon those experiences and looking for the positive aspects, we can say, I could have handled that a little bit different. Maybe if I had lowered my tone, maybe if I had opened my heart a little bit more, maybe if I tried to walk in their shoes. So those lessons are out there every day happening. So again, I will say to you, what do you most appreciate in your life? And have you recognized it lately? I can hold my hand up and say, no, I haven't. But I would like to start. Because looking around, if you look around the room that you're in right now, you may have your Christmas tree up, you may have your table set for a beautiful Thanksgiving dinner, you may have just sent out invitations, you may have been on the phone with friends this morning or today. So many things just to appreciate in 24 hours. The appreciation that that person was there, the appreciation that I'm going to be able to put food on my table, the appreciation of I do have a roof over my head. It's always interesting when you hear some of the interviews that are done on Facebook and social media where some of the people that we would look at in less fortunate situations or conditions can often be the most positive. And why? Because they look around and see the small things, the tiny things that change their lives. Being positive, having gratitude, giving thanks is a choice. You don't have to. It's a choice. It's a choice, as Sandra was saying, it's a choice we have to help improve our lifestyle, to help improve our health, to help improve our well-being, and in turn, others. You got to fix the inside. You've got to help the inside. You've got to fill your cup to be able to offer it to somebody else to drink from. And I want to fill my cup up with the best, which is positiveness, which is reflecting on the past, reflecting on what I've done on that day. And perhaps when I've reflected, it helps me put a cap on that and let it go, which allows more room for me to get on with what's in front of me. By using that mindset and being able to change that mindset into a more positive frame, I can suddenly expand so much more into more fields because I'm not holding myself in. I'm not putting those boundaries up. I'm not having the fences around me. I'm opening my gates. I'm breaking down walls. I don't want fences around me. I want to appreciate and experience life. There's so much of it out there happening for us. And with our belief, we are here to experience life. To experience it on the positive side is a better pattern in anybody's books. And being able to help your neighbor with their positive thoughts. Because we always, the human nature reverts to the negative. And I know I've said that, but I really want to drive that home, because it would be good if when we start beating ourselves up or think negatively about ourselves, be able to pull yourself up quickly, knowing that you're doing it. You can be grateful for that in itself, because you have the time, the skills, and the foresight to change it internally. It doesn't cost anything except your time. How great is that? May I use the word God, the God's gift of us to have opportunity. We wake up every morning and have a new opportunity, that new opportunity to change, to thrive. You can change your whole life the next day if you wish. Shutting the door on pieces in your past that may have been not so beneficial, and bringing that mindset around to making a new life for yourself is just invaluable. Nobody else can do that for you. And it's not one shoe fits all. We have to find our own shoe. That shoe to fit you and your life. And where you are at the moment, be in the present with that gratitude. Don't try and think 10 years down the road or 15 years down the road or even 6 months. Let's deal with it right now. And as you start to practice that positiveness and that gratitude, you're able to do it more and more and more, and you will bring more into your life. You know, a lot of people practice their gratitude in the morning. And I really like that practice because it sets you up for the day. It sets you up with a positive attitude, a positive outlook, and setting aside what may have not been so good yesterday. New opportunity to change. You know, positive thinking, the good stuff in our life, I'm going to call it, well, Sandra had a lovely name for it in her sources range, but I'm going to call it the juice of life. Because what would a life be if you thought negatively all the time and attracted the negativity? And the negativity always seemed to find you because that's what you thought about. Maybe not so good. So if we can put out our sunshine, our glow, that cup runneth over, so to speak, of good stuff where everybody can drink from. You know, that's a great gift to our human race. It's also a great gift to yourself, because giving, having thanks, gratitude, and appreciation, not only is it an outward thought, it's also an inward thought for joy for ourselves. It brings us pleasure. The pheromones, I think they're called, will go through the roof because we're feeling good. And therefore, it goes on to the exercise, etc., that Sandra was talking about, because we feel better about ourselves. You know, we've got to start somewhere. Just start with little steps. It might be grateful that you get to watch your favorite TV program tonight. Oh, yay, it's on tonight. Or that you have a cozy bed. Or that you've actually just got piles of washing all done. The simple, small steps through life start the ball rolling. And it could be the same thing every day. It doesn't have to be different aspects of our life to be grateful for. You know, many of us here who have got loved ones in the spirit world, and of course our loved ones beside us, that may be on your list every day. I'm thankful for my partner. I'm thankful for my children. I'm thankful for my animals. You can repeat that every day because that's a biggie. The support around you is far greater and more wealth than all the jewels on the planet. I just want to end with a quote from Jean Bastille Coeur. Some people are always grumbling because the roses have thorns. But we, big we, I'm underlining it, are grateful that the thorns have roses. You know, take that, savor that, turn it upside down and inside out. See how you feel about it. It's a great quote, and I'm going to put it on my wall because sometimes when it gets a bit tough, it's hard to find the positive. It's written on my wall. That's my mental reminder to keep that positive list going, keep that positive attitude going, one step at a time. Don't try and run a marathon. One step at a time. And it can be done quietly and gently at your own pace. I'd love you to actually monitor what happens when we do it. Because I know everybody here, all the people on the gap, we're all going to do it. Starting today, we're all going to do it, aren't we? Starting this evening, we're all going to do it. Record what happens. Make a mental note. Yes, that's improved that area. I'm going to the left nowadays instead of the right. I'm thriving on the positive. The negative's there. You've got to have a negative to have a positive. You've got to have a negative to be able to feel what a positive is. But that's okay. That's life. Life happens. It doesn't matter which way you go. Life happens. But you have the control to work out how you're going to deal with it. It's that old saying, we can control our responses. Gratitude, giving thanks gives you that control. So it gives you more control in your life, apart from being a very positive person. We in our philosophy or religion, whatever you want to call it, think about everyday mediums. And to me, being thankful and grateful and appreciative, looking to the positive, is a massive step in being an everyday medium. An everyday medium looks for ways that they can improve their own life and thus helping another. So we can all be those mediums out there. We can all be that person that smiles at somebody else because you've known that they've taken 2 hours to get ready just to go to the mall. And it's given you joy to see their wonderful outfit. You know, Sandra talked about everyday angels, earth angels, the other day. Let's all start wandering around as little earth angels so we can put a few more on this planet. So good luck with that journaling. Good. And look, it doesn't have to be journaling. You can do it on your phone. You can just keep a mental note. You can keep that little pocket book that you have beside you. You can do it in your diary. It's all there as reminders and showing you your progress. Because again, I'm always grateful for progress. Always grateful for progress. It means I'm moving further and further to a goal that I may have way off in the distance of perhaps being that more positive person, always giving thanks, always saying thank you. And actually, that's just another little point. Don't just say thank you, mean it. Drag it up from the bottom of your heart. Show that appreciation with passion and emotion. Be that passionate person who appreciates your loved ones, your pet. Show them. You know, there are people out there that can't voice it. If you can't voice it, show it. Give them a hug. They're always there giving you a hug. Just give them a hug. Buy them a coffee. Ring them in the morning. Say, how are you? Send them a smiley emoji. Whatever you can do. All it is a little bit of your time. And if you think on the other end of that phone, receiving that smiley face emoji, that person will be smiling back. They may not answer. There may be no need to answer. But you know in your mind, they'll look at that and they will smile and remember who sent it. So you've got some work in front of you. So let's work on those practices, including myself. I'm certainly going to start taking up some of these things that we can do to be thankful, to give thanks. It's so important. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Shirley Anne. Shirley Anne is gratitude in action. She's always polite and pleasant and smiling and happy. I'm sure she's got her bad days, but she doesn't show them to us. She doesn't. And she was right there to step up to be with us on our Sunday gathering. So, Shirley Anne, we are grateful to you. I just have a few things to add to the gratitude conversation today. And Shirley Anne is 100% correct that we're not built for gratitude. That's not our, I don't even know what the phrase is, modus operandi, something like that. We are built for looking for what's wrong and feeling maybe guilt and unpleasant feelings, looking to the past and the future. We're not built for gratitude. But I want to share why gratitude is just as important to brushing as brushing our teeth. Now, I just had that idea hit me just now, just as I was listening to Shirley Anne. There are practices that we do every day. We brush our teeth, hopefully. And why do we do that? Well, we want to keep our teeth, right? That nice smile, being able to chew our food and things. So we have a practice of brushing our teeth. Yeah, sometimes you might not feel like it before you go to bed at night, or say, what about going for a walk or getting a little exercise? Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to put on your sneakers or your trainers. Hardest thing. But once you get home, you're like, oh, I feel so good for doing that. Well, I think gratitude is the same. I've had patches in my life that I've done these hardcore gratitude practices. So it's like giving gratitude for things that haven't happened yet and feeling the feeling as if they have happened. And you know what happens? That's why I said gratitude is like the birthing of miracles. It makes things happen. And so I had this thought, they say when we go over to the other side, we can create our dream home if we want to see a beautiful butterfly or a lake or the beach or whatever it is, hot fudge sundae, like we can create it and it's there. But the other aha I had, just like brushing our teeth in gratitude, is I bet you anything in the afterlife, when we create all this, we create it through gratitude. I think we do. Why do we want to see a rainbow? We sit there in the gratitude of all the colors and boom, it's there. There's a book called The Magic, written by the lady who wrote The Secret, Rhonda Byrne, and it's a 28-day gratitude practice. And I remember doing that, and it guides you on different things to be grateful for each day. But then you keep a journal of the things that happen. And I tell you, the synchronicities and things that started showing up. And I thought, is this my imagination? So a bunch of my friends did it as well. And they said, oh my gosh, these opportunities came and new business ideas and all these things started popping like popcorn. Is it gratitude that really fuels us? So my thought about brushing our teeth is we're taking time anyway to brush our teeth, hopefully for those 2 minutes, they say, morning and night. Why not spend that time being in gratitude? Does anybody want to take on that challenge? I'm going to take it on. It just, had that idea now, because it is important and it makes us feel good. And there's all those benefits and all those things that Shirley Anne spoke of as well. And then when we think about other people, someone once said, you can't imagine going to a debit card machine or an ATM machine to take out money and not having money in the account, right? You need to have money in the account so you can take some out. They said that gratitude towards other people, paying them compliments, saying kind things, letting them know you're grateful for them is like putting the money in the account. For those of you who have businesses or have people in your life, watch how those people transform when you add in some gratitude. And I'm talking honest gratitude. We all have people in our life that, oh, we know maybe some of the things that rub us the wrong way. And, they feel the same way about us. But when we can start looking at those positive things and tell them and share them, that's like adding money to that account. And like I said, watch how they behave. I think a whole lot differently. They'll start sharing what they're grateful about you. The other thing I wanted to share with you is somebody on our Sunday gathering, and it might have been in the chat box, it might have come out of Shirley Ann's mouth or someone else's in the past, but they said instead of saying I have to, say I get to. And that hit me this past week because although you see me with a smiley face, I have a lot of responsibilities. And sometimes in this mind, I'm a little cranky. I complain. I don't do it outwardly, but I think, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do this. And even earlier, I love the Sunday gathering, but I was tight on time, like, oh, I have to take a shower because it's almost Sunday gathering time. But it's like, no, I get to. So many people in the world don't have running water, or if they do have water, it's not hot water. Whatever it is, even going out and raking the leaves. Oh, I have to rake the leaves. I get to rake the leaves. I live in a beautiful property with my mom. There's a whole bunch of yard that needs to be raked, but it's beautiful. We have a deer that visits every morning and comes to where our bird feeders are. And of course, we got birds galore, and it's like a little slice of heaven on earth. So just making that shift from I have to I get to can really unleash the gratitude. So if you're willing to take that on, you can either press your raise hand button or just let us know in the chat box that you're willing to take that on. Have gratitude in life. And I tell you, just imagine all those miracles and wonderful things that we can create in the spirit world. I would bet you anything that what we do there to create all of those is to create them from the place of gratitude. And there they are. And if you want to have that experiment yourself, like Shirley Anne said in the morning, what you're grateful for, not only things that you're grateful for that you actually have, but maybe there's something that's not quite right. And give gratitude for it being just the way you want. And keep a little journal, maybe at the end of the day, look back upon your day with gratitude. And I have a funny feeling you guys and girls will be reporting in some miracles next week. So that's it for our address. Thank you for listening to Shirley Anne and myself. We're going to move on now to our demonstration of mediumship. I know we have lots of returning friends here, and we do have friends who are here for the very first time. So I'm going to let you know a little bit about how this goes. Shirley Anne is a long-time medium and just a lovely soul. And in her own way, she will ask those in the spirit world that wish to work with her to do just so. Now, all mediums work similarly, but in their own unique ways. And so the friends and family in the spirit world might use Shirley Anne's memories, maybe her different senses, maybe put pictures in her mind, however they present themselves to her. That is their individual way. We are still us when we go to the other side, filled with our personalities, our sense of humors, everything. So for the person or persons that work with Shirley Anne from the spirit world today, I like to say that there are our Zoom panelists on the other side. Hopefully the words Shirley Anne and myself make a difference for you today. Well, we'll have a few members of the spirit world that are working with Shirley Anne, delivering messages and evidence of survival. And although there'll be people in our community that do get readings, it's not the time to check out. I want you to listen to these messages and listen to this evidence because their words truly are for everybody. So if you can imagine all of our loved ones together, somehow somebody creates who's going to work through Shirley Anne and speak on behalf of all of them. So whatever those messages that are coming through today, pull them towards you. You might say, geez, I need a little bit of that myself. Well, that's why they're here. They're working on behalf of all of us. So when Shirley Anne first works with one of our loved ones in the spirit world, it could be a loved one, could be a family member, a friend, somebody we worked with, it could be somebody a little distant. We want everybody listening in, our spirit friends, know exactly who's here today. But she'll give a few initial bits of information about the person that's connected with her. So if you can understand 100% of the information that she has shared, that you know that person, we want you to press your raise hand button. Now, this is the time to look on your device, your computer, your phone, your iPad, whatever, find that raise hand button. And if you would so, press it for me. See how it works on your side. And it'll go from raise hand, lower hand, raise hand, lower hand when you press the button there. And I'll tell you why that's important. I know many of you have done this before, but pretend this is your first Sunday gathering. Be excited, be grateful. Sometimes there's more than one person that can understand the first few bits of information. So Shirley Anne will continue to work with the person in the spirit world and give more information. And so if some information doesn't apply to your loved one, we want you to press that lower hand button. Okay, so the idea is that we are left with one person with their hand raised. And if that person is you, I press a button on my side. You'll get a little flash on your screen and an unmute button will appear. We don't need to see you. Don't worry about that. Your camera stays off, but we do like to hear your voice. And when I say hear your voice, your job is simple. Whether you're on the Sunday gathering or any medium demonstration, or you have a one-on-one with a medium, let them do the work. As excited as we are, we want to only say yes, no, or I don't know to the information that they give. That brings integrity. So many times people leave demonstrations or a one-on-one reading and they don't know, did the medium really have my loved one, or did I tell them all those things? So just do us a favor and just say yes, no, or I don't know to the information. Don't feel bad about saying no. As our friends Carrie and Phil teach, no simply means new opportunity. All right. So our mediums, whether it's Shirley Anne or anyone who's on our Sunday gathering, we're all volunteers here. I say they're out on the skinny branches because our loved ones work through our imagination, through the pictures, the thoughts, the feelings that we have. And so she's got to trust that those feelings and thoughts and images that are coming are from your loved ones. All right. So we're going to send a whole bunch of love to Shirley Anne and a whole bunch of gratitude. All right. So we always like to play a feel-good piece of music before our medium demonstration. So I'll play a song that's brand new to me. I found it on YouTube, actually, and I liked it, so I thought we're going to play this. But while we do, how about, in our own way, we say thank you to our loved ones, the ones that are walking this earth, the ones that aren't, maybe some special memories that you've had with them. Let's really boost that feeling of gratitude right now and joy as we hear this song. And then we'll be back with the demonstration with Shirley Anne. So here is our song.
Hello, everyone. And I do want to say thank you to Sandra for allowing me to be on the gathering this morning. And of course, to all our lovely community that have put aside their time to come in, because we're all busy people and time is valuable. So, the demonstration. Now, as I move my mind to the spirit world, I feel as though I have a gentleman in the spirit world, and I feel as though this gentleman, he would have passed, and I know in America we have Thanksgiving at the moment, so I do feel as though I'm in the States, and I feel as though this gentleman passed around the Thanksgiving time. It was before Thanksgiving, and as a consequence, of course, the family, there wasn't a Thanksgiving that year, or it was very, very minimal. So I'm looking for someone who would have a gentleman who had passed quite close to Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much. We have Kathleen and Pam with their hands raised, and Sophia.
Okay, thank you, ladies, and please all listen in. Now, I do know with this gentleman, he was a battler. He really fought to live. Can everybody understand that?
Yes.
He took all the treatments, he took all the medication that was thrown at him until it came to a point where the medical profession said the treatment will be of no more use.
Thank you. If you can't understand all that information, lower your hand. Shirley Anne, everyone lowered their hand.
All righty. So just going back to this gentleman, you would definitely understand that this gentleman passed before Thanksgiving, that this gentleman battled his condition. And if he didn't, if the medical profession didn't make you aware of that, you knew that the time was close, that he would be passing over.
Thank you. Those of you who had their hands raised, if they can understand that information, raise your hand again. Yes, okay. Pam and Grace have their hands raised.
So Pam and Grace, you were aware that the time was close for this gentleman. And I actually feel as though I know this gentleman was a grandfather, and I also feel as though he was a husband.
Thank you. All right, let's talk to Pam. And thank you everyone for listening in. We have 150 people here with us today, so it's important to get to the right person. Hi, Pam.
You.
Welcome. Hey, Pam. Thank you. So you understand every piece of information I've said?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, I do feel as though this gentleman, he spent a lot of time in hospital, and I feel as though he did actually pass in hospital. You would, or a care facility.
Yes.
And I feel like it was a mad scramble at the end for the family to get to him or get back to him.
Yes.
Yes. And, you know, this gentleman, he had a few irritated moments, but in general, this gentleman was a gentleman.
Yes.
And he was one that would look for the positive in most situations.
Yes.
But I do know with this gentleman, he could size a person up, and you would recognize that.
Yes. And
I feel like he could get quite he would be vocal about that if he wasn't happy with a particular person being around the family or in the family. He would let it be known.
Yes.
And that's his protector coming out. Like, he was really protective with his family.
Yes.
And I feel with this gentleman's illness, it's like the whole family, made special effort to be with him in this time of crisis in his life.
Yes.
But Pam, can you understand that when this gentleman passed, he was very much at peace?
Yes.
Because there's a feeling with this gentleman, and I feel as though you would be aware, I've made peace. I've made peace with anything in my life or anyone in my life that was close to me and around me that I could.
Yes.
And I feel as though that was really, really important to him. Now, I feel as though he's making me aware too. When he passed, you were right next to him.
Yes.
And I feel as though he is making me aware that you were aware the moment he did pass, but you didn't want to acknowledge it. You didn't want to believe it.
Yes.
Yes. And I really want to relay this feeling with this gentleman, is he had the same amount of struggle leaving you as you did letting him go, can I say?
Yes.
This gentleman's making me very aware he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to leave when he did.
I would say yes.
Okay. And it's more in his mind. Physically, as far as the medical profession went, he was physically leaving this phase of his life. But in his head, it's almost like, I'm still 40. I've got things to do. I'm still 50. I've got things to do.
Yes.
And that's how active he was. And I know around the house, this gentleman, he was very good at taking care of all the jobs.
Yes.
And he's giving me a memory here. Would you have a memory of this gentleman actually putting up some shelves, but they weren't quite level?
No.
Okay. I'm feeling like that. So maybe it's the feeling of he was good at DIY. Because I feel like I know my way around the hardware shop, I know the tools I need, etc., etc.
No.
All right. Then you would understand, Pam, that's a little bit of you.
A little bit of me.
Yeah, being self-sufficient.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And I will go back to him. I feel as though he would have been self-sufficient because I feel
Yes.
like he
Yeah.
knows a lot of stuff about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Do you know, this gentleman comes with so much love and so many smiles. Now, I feel like he's specifically giving me the smiles because it would have been a long time um, since you saw him smile.
Yes.
Yeah. And it would have been because of the pain, etc., that he would have endured, because I do know that during his illness there was pain involved.
Yes.
So, Pam, I would like to leave his gorgeous smile with you. And I feel like this gentleman's actually blowing you a kiss as well. And you would understand why he's doing that.
Yes. Yeah.
He's also making me aware too that you're the glue. You're the glue in the family.
I would. Yes.
And it's like big thumbs up for that. That I feel as though he's making me aware that in your family, that's a big ask for anyone.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It can get very fractured at times, and it feels as though you have your head around most of the other family members, can I say?
Yes.
It's this general understanding, and you're able to bring them all together. And I can feel him making me aware she could always do that. And I
Yes.
feel very proud of that. So I want to say to you, just keep on keeping on. Just keep that job, that good job of keeping that family together, and I want to say keeping the girls together, but keeping everybody going and keeping everyone together and keeping everyone thankful for each other.
Yes. Thank you.
He's also making me aware that you're planning quite a big one this year.
Yes.
Be assured he will be front and center. This was not a gentleman to miss out on a social function if he could.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Oh, and one other thing. He's just making me aware he will be there to help you in the kitchen. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. I'll leave you with his love. I will leave you with his smiles, his sense of humor. And you know, he brings that forward for you because it feels like you feel like there's going to be a bit of a trek ahead to pull everything together that you want to happen.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pam, for listening. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Sandra. Now, as I leave my mind in the spirit world, as I leave that gate unhatched, latched, as I say, I do feel as though I have a lady with me in the spirit world, and I feel as though my recipient would know that she would have suffered, because I feel like domestic abuse, whether it be physically or mentally. I feel as though this lady would have suffered that in her lifetime. So, Sandra, can we throw that out, please?
A lady in the spirit world who suffered abuse, domestic
Abuse.
or mental. Okay, thank you very much. Whoever can understand that. Yes, we have several people in our gatherings, sorry to say, that have someone in their life who has passed that can understand that.
So I actually feel as though you would be aware of several occasions this got physical. and this lady was left battered and bruised, I will say.
Thank you very much. And we
Okay,
still
so,
have several members of our community.
all right, now I will take that a step further. I do feel as though the domestic abuse was part of, or not, or solely the reason of her passing.
Could you repeat that?
I feel as though the domestic abuse was the sole reason or part of the reason for her passing.
Okay, thank you very much.
Everybody's.
No,
we
we have one person. We have Peggy here.
thank you.
Peggy, would you press your unmute button? Hi, Peggy.
No, I meant to lower my hand.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Then the physical abuse, I feel as though if it didn't make her pass, that there was an incident where she was fairly close to passing through the treatment she received.
Okay, thank you. We have Marie with her hand raised. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. I know this is a tender conversation. Marie, if you could press your unmute button. Marie S. Hi, Marie.
Hi.
Hi.
You would understand all of this information, lovely.
Well, somewhat, yeah. This would be my mother that passed many, many years ago. I never really knew her.
Okay. Can I just throw that out? Maria, just stay where you are, Marie. Can I just throw that out again, Sandra, please?
Okay.
Because I do feel the person in the audience would know this person well that passed with this situation. Brenda.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you,
Yes.
Brenda. Thank you, Marie. Now you would understand that this young lady had reported this, had told people that she was having this trouble within her marriage, within her relationship.
I'm unsure about that. It was before I knew her.
Okay, it was before you knew her. All righty. You've got one other person there. Thank you, Brenda. You've got one other person there, Sandra. It's just so important that we get to the right person.
That's Marie, who you were just with.
Oh, that's Marie.
Mhm.
Okay. Then Brenda, you would understand that there would have been a situation where your friend had told you that she was hospitalized through the abuse.
Yes.
Okay. And I feel that actually reliving these memories for her was a big way of dealing with what she'd been through.
I'm not sure. I would think so.
Because she would talk to you. I feel like you knew a lot of her history. And I feel as though when she talked to you, you were supportive.
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I was wanting, is that supportiveness with this young lady. Because I do feel as though you would understand that when I'm talking about physical abuse, it was quite severe. I feel as though that she would have had damage around the head area.
I don't know about the head. Her back was severely damaged.
Okay. Now, Brenda, too, you would also be aware that her children would have witnessed this as well.
I don't know.
All righty. Okay, because I do feel that. All right, but that's okay. Just because you don't know it doesn't mean it didn't happen. But I know that you were supportive to this this lady, and I know that she was a friend of yours.
Yes.
All righty, and I know that she would really confide in you about other things as well.
Yes.
Because I do feel when you got to know her, she was entering another relationship.
Yes.
All right. And I know that there was fear within her. And I really feel as though you helped her navigate this.
I hope so. Thank you.
Yeah. Because you would also understand how scarred she was from this, because I feel as though you would understand that it wasn't a short period of time, that it was a few years that this young lady put up with this.
Yes.
And I do feel with this young lady, she didn't have, I can't feel her mother around her at that time. I feel as though she was quite isolated.
Yep.
Thank you, Brenda. She's just giving me really good proof that I'm with the right lady. Now, Brenda, I feel as though that this lady actually, her admiration is so high for you. I feel as though she would have told you that she loved you.
All the time.
Ah, because it's this admiration that she has for you for your kindness. You showed this person a lot of kindness. She's making me aware. And am I correct in saying, Brenda, you actually took her in at one point?
No.
All right. But I do know that you were very, very close. They were very confidential. And this is another thing that she's making me aware of. You knew how to keep a secret.
Right.
Confidential conversations.
Yes.
Do you know, I just want to give this lady's love to you, because I feel as though she's making me aware too that you've often thought, I wonder if she's in the spirit world. I wonder what has happened to her. I would like her to come through as proof.
Yes.
And this is what I feel her main criteria today is to say, hey, yeah, you're on the right track. It's how I feel. And she would speak like that too, just straight to the point with
Oh,
you.
yes. Yes.
You didn't have to put on any airs and graces, Brenda, because I
Nope.
feel you would have been aware when she was around other people, some people in her life, she had to wear a bit of a mask.
I'm not sure.
She was, I feel as though she was different around you to other people in her life. But I just want to leave you with a lot of love from her. Phenomenal lady, a lot of fun to be with. And it's almost like you helped her find herself to an extent.
Thank you.
So much gratitude from this beautiful young lady.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Brenda. I'm glad we found you.
Thank you, ladies. How about one more spirit friend,
Okay.
Shirley Anne?
All right. So I do feel as though I have a connection with somebody in the spirit world. I do feel as though the member in our community that I'm looking for would know this person in the spirit world would have had a gun pointed at her.
A
In
gun
her
pointed at her. Okay.
No, she would have had a gun pointed at her.
Goodness. All right. Well, we have someone who can understand that information. We have Dana and Barbara. I spoke too soon. Okay. We have several, again, unfortunate to say, that can understand that information.
Now, I do feel in this situation, there were more people around this person, this young lady that had the gun pointed at her, this lady that had the gun pointed at her. There were others around this gun person at in this situation.
Thank you.
We're down to 2. We're down to 1. Thank you. Can we bring Sophia in?
Sophia, if you could press your unmute button, please. And thank you, everyone, for listening in. Hi, Sophia.
Hi there.
Sophia, I want to say, though, this lady, I feel like I'm shivering in my boots, but I'm tough. I'm toughing it out. Can you understand that?
The lady on the other side, I don't understand.
The lady on the other side.
Do you mean that she had the gun pointed at her?
Yes.
That I don't know. I mean, it was pointed at me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's
Maybe I
okay.
misunderstood.
That's how I understood it too, was the member of our audience.
I am sorry.
That's all right.
right.
That's all right.
Okay, so Sophia, I'm correct in saying that you had a gun pointed at you, and am I correct in saying it was actually a burglary?
No.
It wasn't a burglary. All right. But because I feel like there's more than one gun being pointed.
Uh, there was one, and there might have been a second.
All righty. Okay. All right. Okay, Sophia. I will take this as because that's our next stage. If we can't find someone in our community, is that someone here has experienced it, and you have mum in the spirit world,
Yes.
and mum was she was a straight shooter. She would say it as she saw it,
Mm.
not literally with a gun, but she would talk straight.
No, not really. No.
Because I feel this lady in the spirit world would have sticked up for herself.
No, I don't know who you're talking about in the spirit world. I don't know.
Okay, so Barbara.
Barbara had, she put in the chat box, let's bring in Barbara. And Sophia, you keep listening in. Hi, Barbara.
Hi.
So Barbara, you are aware of a lady in the spirit world that would have had a gun pointed at her.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sophia. This is where I want to be, Sandra. Thank you so much. Now, you would know that this lady, she wasn't about to show any fear.
Correct.
Because I feel like I'm tough. I want to be tough in this situation, but I'm actually shaking in my boots.
Yes.
This is the lady. Thank you for that. But she's giving me the impression of she was a little bit shocked how this situation come about. Can you understand that? I feel surprised with her. Maybe it's surprised that the situation went that far. Can you understand any of that, Barbara?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for that. Because I almost feel she's in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All righty. And Barbara, am I correct in saying that she actually knew at least one of these people?
I don't know.
All righty. I'm just trying to link with her a bit closer. You would understand that she was quite a quiet person, though.
Yes.
Ah, okay. That explains that. But you knew this lady quite well. Well, very well.
Not at the time, but yes.
Thank you.
From the past.
Thank you. And Barbara, I do actually feel, am I correct in saying she did actually get shot? I'm not saying she got shot dead, but she did actually get shot.
Yes.
Ah, thank you. And the whole incident, because I feel like the incident was sort of kept under covers for a while. I feel like it did come out, but not the whole truth.
Yes.
Thank you. Because I actually feel as though, yeah, I feel like somebody was being protected in there from information. But anyway, I feel with this lady, although she was quiet, I wouldn't want to back her into a corner. You would understand that. She'd come out fighting.
Yes.
And I feel like she was like that with you. I feel like she was always in your corner.
Yes.
And I feel as though she was one of your biggest cheerleaders, just quietly giving you that support to carry on, because I feel like she's making me aware that she knew you at a period in your life at some point when you were lacking confidence moving ahead.
Hmm.
Because I feel like she was offering support.
Yes.
Yes. You know, again, she comes through with so much love for you. And a feeling here with her that towards you that I didn't get it right all the time. Can you understand that?
Yes.
And I feel as though there would have, oh heck, I feel as though that in the past, there would have been an issue that she would have asked your forgiveness with.
No.
Then you would know that she gave forgiveness to somebody else about a situation. Actually, it may not have been forgiveness, it may have been tolerance.
I don't know for fact.
Okay. So you know that there's something swirling around in there.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to send you lots of love with this lady. I know that she was fun, and I know that you had a lot of fun with her.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Yeah, but lots of love, and there's a feeling of just remember me over Thanksgiving because we spent a few together.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks
thank
very much.
you much for your time, Barbara.
Thank you very much, Barbara. And Shirley Anne, thank you yet again for being part of our Sunday gathering. We love you and we appreciate you. Oh, we do. Okay, a few announcements, but before I do, I'm going to throw out a question. Friends, if you suddenly find yourself in the spirit world, what kind of evidence would you show a medium to let them know it's you? That's something we need to consider sometimes, because I think our friends in the spirit world are, what can I show them that they know it's me? So sometimes it's not the nicest things, but it's those things just to identify who we are. So be sure you look at your life and what are some of those things that your friends and loved ones would know you for. Also, this is a time of heavy grief moving into the holidays. I love the first person that came through working with Shirley Anne today. Let us know that they're going to be right there as we're preparing meals in the kitchen. We don't wait till a holiday. They're with us all the time, friends. We continue to learn and grow and explore in the afterlife, but we see it so many times that they have one foot in our world, keeping an eye on us, being part of our family still, and they still get to explore. So when we migrate to the other side, I tell you, there's going to be some cool stuff to explore, but not too soon because we've got cool stuff here. So if you don't yet have a copy of my book, We Don't Die, and you'd like a free PDF copy to read, you can certainly have one. If you have ever purchased anything at the We Don't Die site, you already have a copy of it in your personal library. But if not, you can either write to me or at the bottom of the page at wedon'tdie.com, you can enter your name and your email address. It says you get the first few chapters, you get the whole thing. Chapter 10 is about navigating grief. Grief is the worst thing us human beings will ever have to deal with. And if you're experiencing it right now, which I know that there are several members of our community that are, we send you our love. You don't need to be alone in it. You have us. Okay. So we have a ton of good things with the afterlife planned for you between now and the holidays. We've got a bunch of medium demonstrations, full medium demonstrations, 90-minute medium demonstrations, as well as our Sunday gatherings. Coming up this week on Thursday, our friends Kath and Mitch Shirley, they're both mediums, but they're also advanced grief specialists. They do what's called a grief cafe. It is completely free. It is not recorded. It's a wonderful time to learn about grief and be with people that care through whatever it is you're dealing with. Okay, so that's on Thursday. On Tuesday, we offer Sitting in the Power Hours with Scott Milligan. Wonderful opportunity to close your eyes and just be led to that daydreamy type state where we can recharge our physical batteries. Any of the good mediums out there know that that's the best thing we can do to connect with the spirit world and with our own loved ones, is take that time to quiet the mind and just recharge. Friday, our friend Scott Milligan is back with a demonstration of trance mediumship and Sitting for Healing. And we send healing as well. Those are extraordinary opportunities. I'm on each and every one. On Saturday, you can join Scott and myself. We're doing a 3-hour workshop talking about physical mediumship, trance mediumship, the world of quieting our mind and blending with that love from the unseen world. Like I said, everything that we have and tons of medium demonstrations all coming up at WeDon'tDie.com. Just click on the store page. All right. So there's free things there. There's paid things there. Every paid thing we offer has a money back guarantee because we are out for your happiness. So if you're ever not happy with something, please let us know for sure. But, we do have that satisfaction guarantee always. My podcast episodes are now over 680 hours of me talking to people about the reality of the afterlife. So I know, sitting in my shoes here today, there's no question that we go on, that our loved ones are around us, but we need to stay strong. Being here on planet Earth is the most challenging thing in our soul's existence. I know we can all feel it. I know there's moments of joy. I know we have gratitude, but there's some really, really tough stuff. So is it all on purpose? Is it all meant to be? I don't think so. I think bad things happen. I think accidents happen as well. But I think out of each and every thing that does happen, there's an opportunity, like Shirley Anne was saying, to look to see where we've learned, where we've grown. And I never expected to be here on a Sunday gathering with you folks, because 25 years ago, I didn't even believe in the afterlife. So for me to now have all these episodes, do all this, and it came out of my very worst time, which is when my dad died and losing the relationship with my siblings. I hit rock bottom. Never did I think I was going to make it through. And so to be with 150 fine friends around the world today, sharing the magic of the afterlife and gratitude, it's a very special thing. So I don't take it lightly. Okay, what else do I need to say? I want to just a few words for the week. Simply put, is be grateful. Whether it's brushing your teeth or any other time, know that our human beingness is looking for what's wrong and what's not done yet, and stress and all of that. But just picture getting over there to the spirit world and being able to create whatever we want or be able to talk to whoever we want. And we do that by nature of gratitude. Do a gratitude challenge for a couple of weeks or a month. And the key is you have to feel the gratitude. You just can't write, I'm grateful that I can breathe. I'm grateful I have water to drink. You have to feel it, right? You have to feel it. So if you want to take out a pen and paper and write down 10 things that you're grateful for, even the little things, but you have to feel it. And I think it's in that feeling that it invokes all of that magic stuff that makes things happen. That's just what I think. But give it a try and let us know how it works. I do want to do a shout out to our friends who have made our Sunday gathering possible. Those are you who have donated. Thank you so much. We don't pass around a plate, but we do appreciate it. If you do have a couple of dollars, it gets expensive, everything that we have going on behind the scenes. Should you wish to donate, you can. Should you not, that's fine too. But if you go to WeDon'tDie.com and you click on the Sunday gathering page, you can register for the upcoming Sunday gatherings, but also there's a donate button there. So that's all the announcements and the words of gratitude. Of course, we're very grateful for you. I'd like to turn it over to Shirley Anne for our closing prayer.
If we could join together for a moment in that quietness. Divine and loving Spirit, your ever healing ways are around us. Please keep that healing going through the week for each and every one of us, and of course our animals. Allow that healing to swirl around the planet and swirl around our homes, giving us the most positive aspects of humanity. Please keep our hearts open, our minds open Please keep our lights shining. Allow us to walk forward with your support, 1 foot at a time. And let's give thanks for all those wonderful, wonderful relatives and loved ones in the next phase of their lives who are going to be around these Thanksgiving tables at this holiday time. Please spare a thought for those out there who are not as privileged as we are. Your positive thought could make all the difference in their one day. Let us join together in that positivity, raise the vibration as much as we can. Every single person has the capability of doing a little part of that to support the whole world. So if how many billion of us all did it at once, gosh, it would be like a party in the universe. So please tuck some of that little sunshine, little piece of that sunshine, little piece of that healing, and a whole lot of that joy in your back pocket, and just leave it there for the whole week. It's yours. It's yours alone to take out at any moment. I'll leave you with that with this gathering, and thank you, our dear friends from the spirit world who came to visit. We are very grateful, as always, for your help, love, healing, and support. Amen.
Thank you so much, Shirley Anne. As we close our Sunday gathering, this is a funny song. It's called Gobble Gobble. We wish a happy Thanksgiving to our friends in America, or just a happy day wherever you are. But this is a very playful song about Thanksgiving. You know, I love doing that stuff, those videos. I do. Okay, we love you. Have a great week. We will see you next Sunday. Mwah. Big love to everybody, and we're so grateful for you. Bye.